Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You're here on the home of the slightly above average ship review. The high tier Italian tech tree destroyers recently received a buff. We are exploring the effects of the buff. We're top tier on North in a domination match in the tier 8 Italian tech tree destroyer Adriatico, which, according to the patch notes, if they are to be believed, received a buff of 1.2 seconds to the main battery reload. Now, I'm going to link my first video in the Adriatico, and we don't have a better game than that video. So if you want to click out at this point, feel free to do so. Do I think this buff makes a difference before you leave? I will tell you, yeah. I think it does because it's more than a second in reduction, and that's going to make a difference. That being said, last game in the ship that you saw, I had a monster game, over 100,000 damage, which is not easy to do in these destroyers, in my opinion. So that being said, we're not going to get there damage-wise. We're going to get close XP-wise until I fuck it up at the end of the match. So maybe if you want to have a good laugh, you can stick around for that. All right, we're moving out here. We're checking out Charlie. And we're just going to bow in a little bit here. There is the enemy Fletcher already visible. He must have a brawler build on, or he's just not very smart. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he had a brawler build on. We switched over to torpedoes, and we're going back to the guns. We do have SAP, but I'm actually trying to set him on fire at first. There's the fire. I switched, of course, before I knew the fire was going to be set. And he is basically in his smoke screen at this point. Our torpedoes did not hit him. Somebody else's torpedoes didn't hit him either. So we did not get what we wanted there, which is unfortunate. But that being said, based on that destroyer commander's play to this point, I feel very confident we can defeat the Fletcher in a battle. Mano y mano. All right, just circling around here, trying to keep our eye out for more torpedoes, hoping that one of these ships comes out of the smoke, and that will give me the opportunity to engage them. Adriatico is a pretty solid gunboat, like all the Italian upper tier gunboats. However, you will struggle to do damage once the destroyers are dead, in my opinion, unless you get enemy ships that aren't paying attention to you, aren't shooting at you, or you get really lucky with your torpedo strikes and start floods on ships that don't have a damage con. And then you're going to pile up the damage like we did in our last match. I'm going to try to link that one up here at the 3-minute or so mark, so maybe the little thing already came up in the right side of the screen. From when this destroyer was early access, back in the salad days. Now that the truth is out, these destroyers struggle to do damage. And you guys talked about that in your comments on the Luca Targo video. You know, they're tough to deal with starting out as a player because you can't accrue a ton of damage outside of using your guns. And they have terrible AA and they have high detection. So that's all a recipe for disaster in a game where I believe Wargaming is pushing more players to play aircraft carriers. I am gobsmacked, shocked, whatever adjective you want to use. I can't believe the Enterprise is not in the game yet. I'm not a carrier player. I'm going to get the Enterprise as soon as it is released because I'm an American and the Enterprise is the most decorated ship of World War II for the American Navy. 20 battle stars, so I'm going to get the Enterprise. You know, you've seen my carrier matches. It's not a British carrier with the HE carpet bombs. So how often I play the Enterprise, who knows? All right, here we threw up our smoke screen to prevent ourselves from taking damage. My teammate is spotting the Fletcher, so you got to be very careful when you employ this rolling smoke that someone is going to still spot the ship you're engaging. Ironically enough, the platoon I really recommend for people playing these destroyers is someone in an aircraft carrier, because then you can use your rolling smoke to take out enemy ships, and they can spot for you with their carrier-based aircraft. Here we are whittling down the Fletcher. There's the coup de grace. Kill number one in Adriatico. We were never threatened in any way by that Fletcher. So whether that we got lucky or he's not a very good player, you let me know what you think. I did not feel threatened in any way by that player. He did not cause me any alarm or anything like that. That being said, we all know that I probably don't play with a lot of caution anyways. So, all right. So we killed an enemy destroyer, gunned him down, had no problem using the consumables in our benefit. The other destroyers are not visible to me. So right now we're just trying to see what's going to happen with Atlantico. And I would really love some help, Mr. Teammate. We're going to maneuver past this island. The Atlantico dodged my torpedoes. I'm being a little cautious because of the secondaries of the Atlantico. Again, I only have one rolling smoke left, so I don't want to waste it on this ship. And I would really prefer it if my teammates took him out before I tried to do that. Because again, I've found using the SAP against superstructure of ships, some ships it does damage, other ships it doesn't, and this is not the ship to find out that it doesn't do a lot of damage or the damage you were hoping, as opposed to a fire, which if you catch them on fire, they're just going to burn down. So we are holding our fire HE. We're holding that. We'll launch torpedoes that probably aren't needed, although he did damage con. And we're going to engage him here. Because what do I love more than kill pinching? The answer is not much. Am I going to kill pinch him? Maybe I'm not. I don't remember. I'm dealing with a shoulder injury, so I'm going to blame my shoulder injury for not remembering. All right, we did not fire. Anyway, we're going to go in and capture Charlie because that is our job. And you can see most of the enemy team appears to be in between Bravo and Alpha, heading back towards the corner of our map. I don't think this is a great tactic to put all your ships in one portion of the map. But that being said, they're surely going to take out the ships over there a little bit easier. And I'm not saying our destroyer made a good play pushing that deep into the enemy spawn either. Maybe you should have just been trying to capture Bravo and torpedoing anybody that came in there. All right, if someone comes around the corner of that island, they're going to get hit with our torpedoes and probably not regret it very much. We are just trying to get this base capped out, and then we're going to move on over towards Bravo. But it appears my teammate is going into Bravo to cap that, so I'm just going to get out there into the open water to help spot the enemy ships, because we have Alpha capped, we're going to have Charlie capped, and the battleship is in Bravo, so I don't need to cap Bravo, in my opinion, so we're just going to move past that. There's the solo base cap, and we are moving on out. So 2 destroyers and what looks like 2 battleships left. I'm not using my glasses to look at this, so boy, someday soon, if things work out. I interviewed for a new job today. Thank you in advance for any well wishes. Perhaps I can get a bigger computer screen to see the words and icons without needing glasses, although I can read Titan without glasses right here. But the other thing I'm hoping is that I can get faster internet so I can stream. Not saying I'm going to stream this game, although I wouldn't rule it out, but stream another game like Fallout. Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4. Fallout 76 will not be appearing on my channel ever. So that's that. All right. Enemy ship indicating more ahead of us. So probably one of the destroyers over here maybe. And the other ship in the cap over there is a battleship. We've got Bravo capped out, so that offsets the loss of Alpha. And there is the Frederick de Gross. So right now I'm just trying to close the distance to be able to use torpedoes. So I'm sorry this isn't a match full of gunfights and stuff like that. But again, I'm not confident that this ship is going to just crush other ships. That reload's going to help, but you don't have a heal. So if an enemy ship catches you on fire twice in a row around your damage con, you're still going to take burning damage. And it's entirely possible that you might not have a lot of hit points left after that engagement. And I'm especially thinking of the German ships. They get their 128 millimeter AP to pen and detonate inside the hull of your ship. You might be going back to port real quick. I don't know about pen values like that, so I'm not going to try to pretend that I did the math and 128 is going to pen on the armor here. We're not even going to look at the armor viewer. I'm just telling you, if that happens, you're going to have a bad day. So, but the 150 shell should go right through you. All right, here's the Titan. We're going to launch some torpedoes there. I guess this cruiser really wanted to be caught in the middle of a red team sandwich. We are spotted, so that's probably a destroyer. There is the destroyer. The Jaeger. We're going to go all the way around after opening up our rolling smoke. There go the Jaeger's torpedoes. Now, because the Jaeger is still shooting, he is still visible to my teammate, and so therefore I don't have any problem shooting at him. So again, SAP really tearing it up, and that is the death of the Jaeger. So again, not so much about the reload, but the reload in combination with a spotted enemy in this rolling smoke is going to make these destroyers very dangerous. This one, I don't know if it really needed all the help they gave it. You can watch that earlier match and let me know if you agree with me. I think more of the buff should have been on the lower ships like the Lucatarago and the Cunaberde, and this one maybe needed only a half a second or a second reload. I don't know. I just have found that getting kills and doing damage, doing damage is a little bit different, but like I said, first game, early access ship, or one of the first games, over 120,000 damage. Certainly wasn't a challenge for me to get damage in the ship. So the capability is there, and that didn't depend on the reload. So you're going to be marginally better in gunfighting. But again, if you're going to accrue damage, big damage in the ship, in my opinion, you either have to be getting studiously ignored by the enemy while you're spamming them with SAP or AP, or SAP or HE, or you've got to get torpedo strikes that lead to flooding. All right, I feel that the enemy is somewhere on this heading based on my RDF indicator, but in a minute here we're going to do like a hairpin turn and go back into Bravo or towards Bravo, and then I will tell you you're about to see a colossal fuck up on my part. Yes, I'm willing to show you the times that I fuck it all up. So it's going to happen, and you're going to think to yourself, why would you do that? And I don't have an answer for you except a reflex action on my part. So we hit our speed boost trying to close the distance. I did not realize it at the time, but the enemy destroyer is traversing the cap. I thought he was just trying to cap the cap. As you can see, the indicator is moving. In a minute, he's going to stop capping Bravo, which means he will have left the cap. So now I realize, hey, maybe he left the cap. So I'm looking at my RDF indicator, and I'm going to shoot in between these two islands, or try to, and get ready to engage him on the starboard side of my ship. And he is faster than I thought he would be, or he was heading in a different direction than I thought he would be. I thought he was going to be more to the right side of the rock when I encountered him, and that is not going to be the case. So we're turning all turrets on target, just waiting for him to pop up. Less than 1 minute left. And we are spotted. The guns are trained. We are firing. And here comes the colossal fuck up on my part. Just by instinct, I hit my rolling smoke I did not need to hit my rolling smoke. I probably could have easily killed that destroyer and had health left. As you can see, we were bow tanking his shells with virtually no damage taken. So I did not need to use my rolling smoke. And now, unfortunately, the clock runs out. So maybe a little less commentary on the Atlantico and a little bit more commentary on what not to do in the Atlantico with a ship you can beat with your SAP. Anyway, 43,000 damage, 2 kills, almost a third kill, some cap defended flags, a solo base cap, and we ended up with over 6,000 ship XP and commander XP, 2647 base XP, second on our team. I think my original posted match was over 2,800 base XP. So again, the reload number, the reduction amount is nice. Without a match with a lot of destroyers, you probably will not see a meaningful difference for this buff. Just one man's opinion. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments, and I will see you next week on the home of the Slightly Above Average Ship Review.